All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something that's, well, it's pretty much everywhere in our digital lives, even when we don't see it. The big question for today is, what is machine learning really?
Okay, think about this for a second. How does Netflix just know what movie you're going to want to watch next? It's kind of spooky, right? Or how does Gmail get so good at filtering out all that spam? You know for a fact there isn't some person sitting there sorting every single email, so what's the magic behind it?
Well, the secret, the real powerhouse behind all of that, is something called machine learning. Yep, that's the tech that's making our gadgets smarter and our whole online world feel like it was made just for us.
So, what does that even mean? Okay, in simple terms, it's a type of artificial intelligence. But here's the key difference. With old school programming, you had to write out every single rule, every instruction for the computer. It was super rigid. With machine learning, we kind of flip that on its head. We don't give it rules, we give it a ton of data and say, here, you figure it out. And that's a total game changer, because it lets us tackle problems that are way too messy for simple rules, like, figuring out what someone is saying or picking a face out of a photo.
And to really get a handle on this, let's think about it in a way we can all relate to. It's actually a lot like how a little kid learns about the world.
Think about it. You don't hand a toddler a textbook that says, a cat has 4 legs, fur, pointy ears, and a tail. No way. You just point. You say, look, a kitty, and show them pictures. Or you see one in the street. You give them examples. And that's exactly how machine learning works. We don't write rules. We just feed an algorithm tons and tons of data, say thousands of cat pictures, and it starts to figure out the catness of it all by itself.
Okay, so we keep saying the machine is learning, but what does that actually look like? It sounds super complicated, but it's really not. We can actually break the whole thing down into a pretty straightforward 4-step process.
First up, you got to have the ingredients, right? That's step 1, data collection. You gather up all your examples. Then step 2 is training. This is where the machine, or the model, really studies all that data. It leads to step 3, which is pattern recognition. It's finding all the connections. And finally, step 4 is the payoff, prediction. The model takes everything it learned and makes a smart guess about something new, something it's never ever seen before.
All right, so just like people have different learning styles, some are visual, some learn by doing, it turns out machines do too. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. So let's quickly go over the 3 main styles of machine learning.
Okay, first you've got supervised learning. Think of this like studying with flashcards that already have the answers on the back. The data is all labeled, so the machine learns by example. Then there's unsupervised learning. This is like being thrown into a room full of jumbled puzzle pieces with no picture on the box. The machine has to find the patterns and group things together all on its own. And finally, there's reinforcement learning. This one's like teaching a dog a new trick with treats. The machine learns through trial and error. It gets a reward for a good move and a penalty for a bad one, just like an AI learning to master a game like chess.
So we've talked about what it is and kind of how it works. But now, for the big question, where does this stuff actually show up? Because this isn't just something happening in a futuristic lab. It's already a huge part of your daily life. Seriously, just for a second, think about your days so far. The apps you've used, the websites you've visited. Where do you think this technology is hiding in plain sight? I'll give you a hint. It's pretty much everywhere.
Those spot-on recommendations you get from Netflix or YouTube? Yep, that's machine learning. When Google Maps finds you a faster route to avoid a traffic jam, that's ML. You talk to it every time you say, "Hey Siri," or "Alexa." It's the literal brains behind self-driving cars, and it's the invisible security guard that flags a weird charge on your credit card. I mean, it is absolutely woven into the fabric of our lives now.
So look, if you forget everything else, just remember this one thing. At the end of the day, machine learning is really just about one simple idea: teaching computers how to learn from experience. Just like we do.
And believe me, this is just scratching the surface. The world of AI gets even wilder from here. In our next explainer, we're going to go a level deeper and talk about, well, deep learning. It's a super-powered version of what we just discussed, and it's behind some of the craziest AI advancements you're seeing today. So that's our quick tour for today. But I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. Now that you have a basic idea of how this learning works, what's one thing in your daily routine, that one boring, tedious task, that you just wish you could teach a machine to handle for you? Think about it.